Here is Danny, and today on Inside Gaming IG by Tom Henderson, a news article has appeared with leaks about the next Battlefield game. The post says it has been a rough couple of years for the Battlefield franchise, with Battlefield 2042 failing to meet player expectations. And while the game is doing better now, DICE is hoping to continue the success by listening more to the players on Reddit and Twitter. Insider sources that have been verified claim that DICE has also hired multiple Reddit users to act as game designers for the next Battlefield game, internally called Battlefield 2043, but the name might still change. Earlier reports said that the game was going back to 64 players have been disputed, and DICE is actually doubling down on the player count increase. Instead of 64 or 128 players, it will launch with 256 player servers that can be filled up with AI when needed. To up the realism in the game, attrition is set to return, with variable ammo counts, since some soldiers get less magazines when they get deployed. The lower the level of the player, the higher the chance you get less items on spawn. Where a level 100 player can get 10 smoke grenades and a thermal sight on spawn, a low level player might just only get 1. Another new mechanic is that guns can jam at random moments, inspired by Far Cry 2. Why is DICE doing this? No idea. There's also a new recoil and visual recoil system from the start of the game, with a set of adaptive parameters that can take into account of how good the player is and tunes it accordingly to the player's skill level. So a good player might get more visual recoil but also more felt recoil, while a worse player might get something that is basically a laser gun. DICE calls this adaptive recoil. Of course, since it is set in the future, there's more focus on modern tech like unmanned drones. For example, you get a drone that drops a grenade on enemies, or a mortar that is controllable via a tablet from any location. There's also a tube launcher that shoots TV guided missiles at groups of people, and unlike the UCAV from Battlefield 4, it is all automatic, like the Ranger drone in the last game. To make you feel like you are in a real war, suppression is brought back from Battlefield 3, and there will be explosions everywhere, mostly caused by the drones mentioned earlier, but also the new AC-130 that is player controllable and can be called in by the losing team as a Battlefield behemoth-like mechanic. But there was also new weather effects, from fire tornadoes to floods over the entire map. No place is safe from the elements. DICE also recognizes that balance is never done and would like to keep things fresh by rebalancing all the weapons every 6 months or so you don't get tired of the same old recoil patterns, describing it as a true life service. For the players who are more into Call of Duty, there's also a fun few surprises. Snoop Dogg will be one of the announcers in the game. And to continue the success of the specialist system from Battlefield 2042, DICE has announced that there's gonna be even more of them, including crossovers with Battlefield creators. However, it is not yet clear who is being selected yet. But they will voice the specialist and have their own special taglines. What players won't like, however, is that there's not gonna be a server browser nor all game chat at launch. The game is set to launch on the 1st of April 2025 on every platform minus Steam. But hey, that is all I got for now. Subscribe for more. This was Danny, and I see you on the battlefield.